That's because the Fed printed too much money. No. It was all the stimulus checks. Guys, no, it was caused by the global supply chain disaster. Hey, everybody, I think we should just test this. Yeah, but that's really hard to do. Macroeconomic cause and effect, it doesn't come easy. Yeah, don't you remember Ben Bernanke paper where he tried to do it, but then concluded by saying our model cannot settle these issues, which we leave to future research. Well, gentlemen, the future is now. There's a new study out. Did you say new? Yeah. The economist Miguel Faria Castro over at the St. Louis Fed recently used a standard macroeconomic model to specifically identify different effects. And then he divides them up between supply and demand. On the demand side, we'd have Congress and the Fed. And on the supply side, we would have those negative COVID supply chain shocks. And here we see all throughout 2020 and into 2021, the supply chain shocks were a large component. It was counterbalanced by less of a demand out there. People didn't want to buy things. And then by the time we get to the end of 2021, we can see it's pretty much just demand telling the whole story. The supply chain worries had subsided quite a bit. And then during the disinflationary period of 2023, we see those excess demand shocks subside. And then check this out. This is so new. The model splits up fiscal policy, so that's what Congress did in the purple, monetary policy, what the Fed did in orange, and then in darker orange, those are other demand factors. The supply factors are there in blue. And according to the assumptions in this standard model, the supply factors did help contribute to inflation a little bit. There's 2020 and spilling into 21. And we really see the tanking demand in the rest of the economy really put downward pressure on prices. This was counterbalanced by positive demand pressure coming from the stimulus checks here in the light purple. By the time we were at peak inflation, that's the beginning of 2022 here, we see that the fiscal stimulus was no longer causing it. It had run its course. And at the end of 22 and into 23, the pullback of the federal government spending was drawing prices downward. The main takeaway is excess monetary policy. In other words, the Fed kept interest rates too low for too long. Wait. How did they identify the Fed's actions? Because at the end of 2021, the Fed started deviating from the Taylor rule. They were keeping interest rates lower than what this standard equation said they should. And if you notice, once they had high interest rates, pulling back on the money printer, as people like to call it, and the effect of monetary policy on inflation shrunk. So was it worth it? Did the Fed screw up? That's a more difficult question. To answer that, we're going to look at the output gap. During the recession, we found that the output gap became negative, and fiscal and monetary policy helped the economy recover quickly. The unemployment rate got back to normal in near record time. Recessions are bad news, and both government spending and low interest rates from the Federal Reserve helped recover the economy quickly. Would it have been better to have some higher unemployment longer if it meant we had a few percentage points less of inflation? Let me know in the comments.